Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Now so far, we've covered a raunchy, twisted, and entertaining movie musical, a dark and criminally underrated Mickey Mouse cartoon from the mid-1990s, a clash between two legendary horror icons, the finale to the Hotel Transylvania franchise, a coming-of-age witch ceremony, and a battle between horror and sci-fi. So tonight, why don't we look at another superhero film in the MCU? Yes, people, we're going to talk about Doctor Strange again. Now, if you may recall, I previously talked about Doctor Strange's 2016 origin film about 5 years ago. And like I said, the reason why I think this is a good film to watch during the Halloween season was because of the use of the mystic arts, which is an order of sorcerers who are committed to protecting the Earth from mystical threats. Plus, after defeating Caecilius, Doctor Strange got to appear in Thor's third movie, along with Infinity War, where he sadly gave away the Time Stone to Thanos and was snapped out of existence until he was brought back by Bruce Banner on October 17, 2023, during the events of Avengers Endgame. And he also appeared in Spider-Man's third movie, where he inadvertently unleashed 5 villains and 2 Spider-Men from across the multiverse. And he used his magic to return the visitors back to their universe at the cost of making everybody, including himself, forget Peter Parker's existence. But that wouldn't be the only time where Strange had to deal with the multiverse. So, you're probably wondering, is Doctor Strange's second solo film worth watching during this spooky season? Well, let's journey into the multiverse and find out. Released on May 6, 2022, the movie is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, on for the plot of the movie. Following the events of Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange has been having unusual dreams about a young teenage girl with the ability to open interdimensional portals. Strange soon learns that America Chavez is a teenager with that ability. In order to learn more about the multiverse, Strange decides to enlist Wanda Maximoff, who has been in hiding ever since the Westview incident in WandaVision. Unfortunately, Strange soon learns that Wanda has studied the Darkhold, and she's fixated on obtaining America's powers so that she can reunite with her children in a different universe. Strange's efforts on protecting America leads to them being stranded on Earth 838, where he decides to rely on an alternate version of Christine Palmer on getting the Book of Vishanti, which is located in the Gap Junction, so that America can have better control over her powers. But at the same time, Strange must figure out how to free Wanda from the Darkhold before she destroys the multiverse. So, what are my thoughts on this movie? Well, to me, this has got to be the most thought-provoking and complex superhero film that I ever seen so far. And it was simply thrilling. And to further explain what I'm talking about, let's head over to Mustang Notes. Doctor Strange director and co-writer Scott Derrickson had plans for a sequel by October 2016, and he originally signed on to return as director in December 2018. But sadly, he stepped down in January 2020, citing creative differences. So instead, Michael Waldron, the creator of the Loki series, came on board as the film's writer, and Sam Raimi, who directed the Evil Dead trilogy, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy, and Oz the Great and Powerful, became the film's director the following month, and started over, adding elements of the horror genre that Raimi had previously worked with. Filming began in November 2020 in London, but was put on hold in January 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Production resumed by March 2021 and concluded in mid-April in Somerset. Shooting also occurred in Surrey and in Los Angeles, and the film's visual effects were done by Industrial Light and Magic, Digital Domain, Framestore, Luma Pictures, Capital T, Sony Pictures Imageworks, Weta FX, Trickster, Crafty Apes, and Perception. After the movie was released in theaters, it grossed about $955.8 million worldwide, making it the fourth highest grossing film of 2022. Now, in my personal opinion, after seeing the movie in theaters last year with a couple friends, not only did I think the movie was thrilling and thought-provoking, but it was also dark and epic. Plus, I must mention that this is the second movie in the MCU that centers on the multiverse, due to it taking place after the events of Spider-Man No Way Home and before Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Also, I think the several dimensions featured throughout the multiverse can range from cool to eccentric to weird. And I think the action and fight scenes are absolutely amazing and badass. Plus, I also find it pretty interesting that the movie has a few connections to the first MCU miniseries, WandaVision, which I previously mentioned will be released to Blu-ray and 4K this coming November. Also, I kind of get the feeling that the Illuminati group from Earth 838 not only might give a foreshadowing for future MCU films due to Disney's purchase of 20th Century Fox, but it also feels kind of reminiscent to the What If animated series. Also, like the first film and a couple other MCU films like Infinity War and No Way Home, the mirror dimension still gives me Inception flashbacks. And I also find it pretty funny that this movie was released during the exact same time as Everything Everywhere All at Once. Plus, I also think the Darkhold, which is the source of Wanda's corruption, is similar but different compared to the Nottrum de Monto from the Evil Dead films, due to it containing transcribed dark magic based on ancient engravings carved by Kython. And I think the Darkhold Castle, which is located on Mount Wundagore, is a really ancient but also creepy and foreboding looking place. And that's basically all I got from Mustang notes. So, let's move on to the cast. Our hero, Dr. Stephen Strange, is played by Benedict Cumberbatch, best known from Peter Jackson's The Hobbit trilogy, Warhorse, Andy Serkis's Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle, along with DreamWorks' Penguins of Madagascar, and Illumination's The Grinch. Now, in my opinion, Doctor Strange is still a skilled mystic arts sorcerer, and while he can be arrogant and genuinely selfish at times, Strange does show an emotional side, and he shows loyalty to those he considers as his allies or his friends, and he helps them in any way he can. Plus, I think Doctor Strange makes a great father figure while helping protect America Chavez from interdimensional threats, and he helps encourage and inspire her to fight back against Scarlet Witch and find the strength in controlling her powers. In addition, Strange helps and guides Chavez in the ways of a superhero. Also to note, I think Doctor Strange's new third eye is very interesting, but also mysterious, due to it representing the wisdom of the sorcerer Agamotto and his fellow Vishanti, and it allows Strange to see his enemy's true intentions and break magical illusions. Next up we have Wong, played again by Benedict Wong, whom was in The Martian, the 2019 Lady and the Tramp remake, The Magician's Elephant, and Disney's Raya and the Last Dragon. As usual, Wong is a great character, and I like that he serves as the voice of reason for Doctor Strange, who faces serious consequences for ignoring Wong's advice. During this film, Wong was informed that Wanda was the prophesied Scarlet Witch, and despite that he was forced to inform her of the Darkhold's origins on Mount Wundagore in order to save the lives of the other mystic arts masters, I like that Wong was able to elude an attempt on his life and assist a dream-walking Doctor Strange in fighting Scarlet Witch. Our next character is America Chavez, played by Xochitl Gomez, whom was in Raven's Home and the 2020 Netflix series The Babysitter's Club. Now, America is a young girl who came from the utopian parallel. She has the ability to travel the multiverse, and she seeks the Book of Vishani in hopes to find a way to stop whatever is after her. In my opinion, America has quite an adventurous spirit. She shows a lot of curiosity, and she seems to be independent because of her adventures. But she doesn't seem to know the difference between basic things that are considered morally right or wrong. Also, I find America to be pretty sympathetic due to the fact that she's been living alone for a long time without any guidance from her parents. And she's mostly running away from her uniqueness. Fortunately, due to her bond with Doctor Strange and Wong, America learns to embrace her abilities and trust others. Next on our list is Baron Karl Mordo, played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, whom was in Roland Emmerich's trashy 2012 movie, along with Sherlock Gnomes, the 2019 Lion King remake, and the Maleficent sequel, Mistress of Evil. Now, this multiverse version of Mordo is shown to hold many similarities to his Earth 616 counterpart in terms of his personality, showing a rigid devotion to the rules of those he allies with, such as the Illuminati. Plus, Mordo also has a deceitful nature, as he presents himself in a friendly manner to Doctor Strange and America Chavez, only to drug them and have them brought against their will to the Illuminati headquarters, smugly remarking that Strange would have done the same. Another character to talk about is Dr. Christine Palmer, played by Rachel McAdams, whom I only remember from the 2016 Little Prince movie. This version of Christine is a scientist working for the Baxter Foundation who specializes in multiversal research and analysis. Much like her alternate self, Dr. Palmer is a determined, calm, confident, and hardworking woman who puts others before herself, which is shown when she ensured else in the Illuminati-based headquarters to escape, except herself and the trapped America Chavez to save them from the attack of Scarlet Witch. Plus, after the death of her universe's Doctor Strange, she turned bitter and unoptimistic as she struggled to come to terms with the fact that the man she loved became corrupted due to power. However, she eventually came to terms with it until another counterpart of Strange showed up, and the duo bonded together over their inability to move on from their past, which resulted in Christine gaining the power to finally move on from her own past. Finally, we have Wanda Maximoff, aka Scarlet Witch, played by Elizabeth Olsen, Mary-Kate and Ashley's sister, whom was in the 2014 Godzilla reboot. Now, the main reason why Wanda is the main antagonist in this movie is quite a long story. You see, after the defeat of Thanos, Wanda became overwhelmed by immense grief from her recent personal losses that she unleashed her chaos magic to enthrall the citizens of Westview, New Jersey into creating an alternate idyllic paradise of classical sitcom tropes while living her ideal life with a recreated Vision as her husband and two twin sons named Tommy and Billy. Unfortunately, her life was being interfered by a fellow witch named Agatha Harkness and Tyler Hayward from Sword. Thankfully, Wanda managed to defeat them, and she dispelled her reality, erasing her family in the process. Afterwards, she fled into isolation and began studying the Darkhold. However, during her exile, the power within the Darkhold had been slowly corrupting her mind, causing her to believe that the only way for her to see her children again was to find them in a different universe. This obsession caused her to lose any sense of reason, and she dove into absolute madness. Not only does Wanda refuse to listen to Doctor Strange, but she mercilessly attacks the masters of the mystic arts, and she plans to capture America Chavez in an attempt to steal her powers. Also, Wanda possesses her alternate self and uses it to massacre the Illuminati and to snatch the alternate versions of her sons Tommy and Billy. Thankfully, after realizing that her actions caused her to be rejected by her twin sons, Wanda redeems herself by destroying every version of the Darkhold throughout the multiverse and demolished the Darkhold castle, seemingly taking her own life in the process. Now, in my personal opinion, I don't like to consider corrupted characters like Wanda as evil or villainous. However, her reason for doing all this is very understanding and sympathetic. And while I'm glad that she was able to make up for her corrupted actions, I don't think she's gone forever, because I've been hearing news on the internet that Wanda may return in a new miniseries called Agatha Coven of Chaos. Other actors in the film include Patrick Stewart, Haley Atwell, Lashana Lynch, Anson Mount, John Krasinski, Julian Hilliard, and Jet Klein, along with Charlize Theron, and of course, Bruce Campbell. Groovy! And now on to my final words. Overall, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness has got to be the most complex superhero film that I've ever seen so far. It has a thrilling, trippy, and thought-provoking story, and I think it makes a decent follow-up to WandaVision. The cinematography is excellent, the visuals are absolutely incredible, it has badass and thought-provoking action sequences, the multiverse dimensions in this movie range from weird to interesting. Doctor Strange, despite a couple flaws, is still a skilled and superior mystic arts sorcerer. America Chavez is a relatable and sympathetic girl, and her ability to travel the multiverse is absolutely amazing. And Wanda as the main antagonist is very understandable, and I'm glad that she was able to make up for her corrupted actions by destroying the Darkhold. So, if you want a really dark, trippy, eccentric, and thought-provoking superhero film to watch during this Halloween season, then be sure to keep your eye out for this movie either on Blu-ray or Disney+. I give this movie a 92% out of 100. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me for one more Halloween blog where we look at the latest film taking place at a spooky retirement home inhabited by 999 happy haunts. Mustang Power.